It is Futtrading's first birthday in March, and as our way of saying thank you to the insane support we've had for the last year, we are giving away your choice of an Xbox Series S or a PlayStation 5 digital to one lucky site subscriber. All you've got to do is be subscribed on the 31st of March in order to be entered automatically. Now, as a reminder, Tier 1 costs £10 a month, and that gives you access to buying and selling prices for special cards, for icons, for silvers, and for Thursday flips. So much stuff on the website, I'm forgetting what we do. And Tier 2 includes live filters, UCL cards, gold chem styles, and fluctuations, with more to be added in the coming days and weeks. There are multiple updates every day on the site, allowing you to trade 24 hours a day, no matter what time zone you are. Don't forget, if you do subscribe to the website, make sure you join the Discord. There are thousands of people in there helping each other to trade and make the most of it. We've got mods, you've got Dan and I, you've got trusted traders, all the stuff you could possibly want to make millions of coins on this game without having to spend any of your money on FIFA points. So good luck to everyone that enters, and once again, thank you very much for the amazing support we've had. You guys allow us to do this full time. We're extremely thankful, and we never lose sight of that. But for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe down below. And make sure you turn notifications on so you never miss an upload. You get 3 a day on this channel. The morning, League SBC method to glory. If you want to learn how to do League SBC method, the link is down below. We're currently using that method to craft Prime Claude Makelele, Prime Moments Claude Makelele for my team, which is relevant to what this video is going to be about. The evening video is a trading video. The video that went live this evening is everything you need to know for Foot Birthday in terms of how to trade and make coins in the build-up. And throughout Foot Birthday, I'm going to be bringing out loads of tips and tricks so you can make as many coins as possible. And the evening video is a mixture of picks, packs, my thoughts on the game. But today's a video that a lot of you have asked me about in the Discord. A few of you are already doing it. And that's my custom tactics for what I do. Now, I don't profess to be the greatest FIFA player in the world, but I'm an elite free player if I finish and play my games for the weekend league. Last week I went 14-2 and then gave away a win for 14-3 and stopped playing because I only cared about getting gold free. I don't see a point this year, I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of the time I don't really see a point in playing for me personally because I can just go and trade and make more coins. But for those of you that don't really want to do that, and some of you guys really want to grind out the game, you guys basically said to me, can you give me an idea of good custom tactics? Without 5-3-2 in sight, there's no 5-3-2 in sight here. I'm going to go over the 3 custom tactics that I use in game. They're quite specific and they're not overly complicated, if that makes sense, but they're quite specific to the way I build my team. And I've been playing about it the last few weeks to see what's more effective. And the main tactic that I use now is 4-3-1-2. And the way that I play it, I think is a very good counteraction to everyone playing 5-3-2. And so let's get into it. I'm going to show you the team first, but I've got players missing, but you'll see who's going to be in there for Weekend League, hopefully. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so here is my team. Now, these 2 players here are not normally my team. I would normally have, I'm going to hoping to have Makelele's moments there and then Balak's moments there initially. So you have to bear that in mind, but I can't show you custom tactics without that. I'm not going to run the market and buy them just for the sake of showing it for a video. But when they're there, that's what they would be. The fullbacks as they are these, the defenders are these, they might be Sven and Lars Bender eventually, but they're fine for now. So 4-2-2 is how I set my team out before I play the game because it's easy for Chem, but that's not how it plays in game. So I'm going to show the 3 tactics that I use, so I use 3 of them in game. The 3 game plans that I use, and these are the ones that I use here. Now, it doesn't matter which way you want to put them. My normal formation is what is attacking on this. My defensive formation is this one here, and then my attacking one's defensive. It's all mixed up. But let's start by talking about my first formation, and this is how I normally play. Now, I don't like too many changes to the offensive or defensive style. Personally, it's all relatively simplistic here. 5 width, 5 depth is easy. Balanced on both of them. 5 width on attack, 4 in terms of players in the box, or no more than that because heading's still very difficult this year, and 2 on the corners and free kicks. For corners and free kicks, I tend to cut it back most of the time and then play it into the box that way. Formation-wise, obviously 4-3-1-2. I'll have Henry and Lewandowski up top, Mbappe behind them. And then what I do is I always have, in the middle, a very defensive midfielder. So in this case, it says Maradona, but it would actually be Cantona, who is Makelele. Now, you want someone who's relatively mobile, relatively quick, and half decent at passing. It doesn't matter if they can shoot because this player here, I'll show you in a minute, doesn't get forward really for me much. He acts like a playmaker. I then put a very attacking guy on the right side and then a box-to-box on the left side. That to me is the perfect midfield, the way that you do it. So defensive player, completely and utterly defensive-minded. Last weekend I used Moments SCN. Some of these box-to-box last week I used Kimmich, and then Reina was my attacking guy that got forward all the time. Instructions-wise, I put my attackers very simplistically. Henry on getting behind, Lewandowski on target man. I like the sort of lumpy guys this year, like a lumpy guy that can hold it up and people play off of him, and someone who's relatively pacey to get in behind. Mbappe is standard. The cam's just standard. Let the cam do what he wants to do. And then the midfield is quite important. So for the midfield, it's Cantona. We have stick to position, stay back while attacking, and cover centre. He just sits in front of the defence. He very rarely gets any further forward than just past the halfway line. So that would be my Makelele for Weekend League. Reina, again, it says balanced attack here. Now, I actually prefer on Reina, get forward, is what I would normally put on Reina. But because I've changed the team up, it's gone weird. So get forward on Reina. And then the same thing again on the box-to-box. Both of them in the attack, get forward, okay? Both on cover wing, so they'll cover the wing. I don't need them to cover centre. Between Makelele, Boateng and Todibo, they cover the centre perfectly fine. Then full back simplistically on stay back while attacking. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't get forward with them. I just choose when they get forward. If I want to make a run with Tavernier, I'll play a 1-2 and Tavernier will run on. So that's how I tend to do it. I prefer a lot of the time in my standard formation to choose what my team does. I don't want the game to choose it for me. I don't really like the AI a lot this year, except for the AI blocking, because everyone gets it and it does a job for you, so why not? But that's how I play it in game. Simplistic things to think about with this. Do not bring your defensive midfielder too far forward. Just don't do it. Your defence will be good enough to cover. It's not too much of a problem, but I always tend to use him as a playmaker and just pass it around him. So I use him basically as a guy who just pings it around until a gap opens up. You've got to be patient. You've got to be willing to wait your time to make an attack and whatnot. It's not one of those formations that's going to suddenly get you in behind 24/7. But it's very solid and it's very hard to concede. And it's a brilliant counter, in my opinion, to 5-3-2, because the moment that the opponent picks up the ball and their fullback start bombing on and their attack starts bombing on, you've already got 5 men behind the ball, and then anyone else you drag in with it. So let's say you've got Reina coming back, you're running back with Reina as Makelele is coming back too. I think it's a brilliant counter to 5-3-2. In my opinion, it's the best counter I've used to 5-3-2. I didn't lose to a 5-3-2 last weekend, so that was good for me. So that's that one. Then the one I'm chasing the game, it's 3-4-1-2 is what I used. Again, I think it's a very good counter to 5-3-2, because a lot of people, when they're winning the game this year, go into 5-3-2. And I actually think 5-3-2 defensively doesn't work as well, because players trip up over each other. So, defensive style, constant pressure. We go at them continually. The moment they get the ball, we go at them. So you do not want to be using this 45 minutes into a game. This is to be used when you're last 15, last 20, to absolutely exhaust your players if you're chasing a game at 1-0 down or 2-0 down. Constant pressure. Full width is what I go for on the defence, so make myself hard to break down even still. So when they come at me, I've still got my defensive shape there. They've got to come wider of me basically to try and get a goal. It's harder, in my opinion, to score from wide this year than it is from centre. And we're quite high on the depth because we want to be able to push them. Now, you need to have pacey defenders for this, 80 plus pace minimum on your centre backs, and ideally into the 90s on your full backs. But quite high depth. So the moment that you lose the ball, everyone's on them straight away. That to me is great. Offensively, still the same sort of style. I like the sort of balanced style. 5-on-5 is perfect. You don't really want more than that, in my opinion. I don't like this sort of fast build up and stuff like that. I prefer still to know what my players are doing. That's better for me. Formation wise, again here, Henry, Lewandowski as they would be. I then use Carlos on the left wing because he can shoot. Right wing, Mbappe moves to there. Reina comes Cam, just because he's got the passing ability to spread it to Carlos, to Mbappe, to Henry, to Lewandowski, whoever he wants. And they've got Cantona and Maradona there, which would normally again be Makelele and Ballack. Instructions wise, both of my attackers are on stay central, but the same thing for them for target man for Lewandowski and getting behind for Henry. But both of them on stay central. They don't need to drift wide. I've got wingers that are already there. I don't need them to go wide at all. There's no need for them to. Reina, come back on defence just because I want to cover off. So if they lose the ball, I want to make sure that my whole team gets back to then go and win the ball back again. Mbappe again, come back on defence, but getting behind both of them. So it knackers them out. I warn you, it knackers the players out. You cannot use this for the whole game. It's literally lasts 15-20. So Mbappe will make the run in behind straight away. He'll be played in the right and centre. But when they get the ball, he'll make it back and he'll peg it back. Same for Carlos on the exact same thing. Both of my midfielders here, one on stay back while attacking, Makelele. The other one on get forward because I want him to attack. Both of them on cover centre. Now, I've seen some people say, put one cover wing, put one cover centre. I don't like that personally because I can drag out my Tavernier, who's got pace, out to a winger. I can drag Boateng out, but these guys come back on defence anyway. I think if you do cover wing, you leave yourself open in the middle way too much. So I prefer both of those on cover centre, knowing that my wingers are going to come back on defence anyway. So that's what I prefer. So that's when you're chasing the game completely and you're looking to try and get something from a game you're 1-0 or 2-0 down in. But be warned, do be warned, you get knackered very quickly. Your players will tire after. Bear in mind, you play 70 minutes as it is, your players will knacker out within 10-15 minutes. It's to chase a game. It means that when you get to extra time, you've got a bit of a problem because stam can be an issue. But at least you've got to extra time by scoring and not basically had to what's the word I'm looking for here? Lose the game anyway, just basically. So that's that game one. That's that game plan. The final one I do is my defensive one. If I'm winning a game towards the end of it, I don't like going 5-3-2. I refuse to use it, and that's my choice. And the people that use it, fair play to you. I've got nothing against it. But I find 5-3-2 not good defensively. I find my players trip up over each other. I don't like it at all. So I go to 4-2-2. And the reason I go to 4-2-2 is I make my team very compact and very hard to break down. So defensive style, for obvious reasons, drop back. I don't tend to use this until like the 70th minute. Up until 70th, 75th, I'm still attacking, trying to score. If it gets to that stage where it gets a bit nitty gritty, I play drop back and sit back on people. So defensive style, drop back, width 4 maximum, sometimes even 3 if you really wanted to, but 4's about right. 3 depth, not 1 depth, it's too far down. 3 depth, so you're still pushing onto these people, so that's not a problem. Offensive style, balanced, 4 width again. 3 players in the box, 1 of each of these. I don't really care about scoring here, I'm just trying to see the game out. Formation-wise, again, the same thing. You have Henry, Lewandowski up top, Mbappe wing, Reina wing, and then both Ballack and Makelele would be in the centre. Instructions here are important though. I have Henry on getting behind and stay forward. So if I'm defending, he'll stay up. And basically what I tend to do is punt it long to him or run it out with one of our players and then play it through and he runs onto it. Lewandowski on target man and come back on defence. Now he won't come back and sit in front of my defence, but he'll just sit in that pocket between defence and attack that if I play the ball out, it goes to him. He then plays the ball through for Henry and allows me to counter on the guy that's attacking me. Mbappe on come back on defence. That's it. That's what I want to do. Nothing else about him. I do not want him to get into box or that sort of stuff. I just want to make sure that if they get the ball, he's getting back to cover in front of Tavernier. Same for Reina. My 2 midfielders, one's on man mock, stay back while attacking cover centre. The other one on cut passing lane, stay back while attacking cover centre. Again, Mbappe and Reina coming back means neither of these need to cover wing at all. They don't need to cover wing at all. So one on man mark, someone in and around him to make it difficult for the guy to find a pass. When then Cantona, who is actually going to be Ballack in this case, or Makelele, whichever one, will try and block off the passes basically and do what he can to make it hard for them to make it in. If you can block off a man and block off a pass, it stagnates the attack for your opponent. And then defensively, everyone on stay back while attacking, run type like mixed attack. But I literally will not bring any of these guys up. They get the ball, and when the ball, they pass it off to him, who passes it to Lewandowski, who plays it to Henry. To me, I use this a lot, and it's brilliant. The 4-2-2 defensively is fantastic because the team is so compact, so hard to break down. The moment your opponent gets the ball, you've literally got 10 men behind it, and it's very difficult for your opponent to then break it down. I think, in my opinion, this man mark cutting passing lanes is one of the best things I've done this year. I did it last weekend league, it was fantastic. I played a very good guy, I was 2-1 up, and I used it for the last 15 minutes, and he just couldn't break me down. Because my SCM was just marking one of his guys out of the game, just couldn't get past it, and Kimmich was just basically getting into positions to cut passing lanes as he was getting the ball. It was very, very difficult for him to break it down. To me, they are some of the best custom tactics I've used this year. They cruised me to gold last week. Like I say, 14-2. I would have probably gone to get elite if I could be bothered to play the game, but I didn't. I've got elite so far this year. It's not difficult for me, but don't get me wrong, my team carries me a little bit. When I played last weekend league, if you look at the team as it was, I played Moments Cannavaro here. I used Moments SEN here, and I used Team Leader Kimmich here. And so my team's very, very strong. I can't see it like it's just my skill. There's a degree to your team needing to be good. Important things to note for these formations in terms of what I do. The 4-3-1-2, like I say, your defensive midfielder needs to be very defensive, ability to win the ball, ability to pass the ball, and you want it to be quite agile as much as possible, the ability to carry the ball forward for you, make passes, turn as he gets pressed and stuff like that, because he sort of plays as your playmaker. Your 2 midfielders, you want them to be quite agile, but for me, the most important thing is to find the balance between another box-to-box to go alongside your defensive, and then quite an attacking player like I have with Reina. It's very, very good. I like that very much. And stamina is important. If you're playing that defensive, win the ball back, your players need to have half decent stam. So make sure you're not using that too long, too often. It'll work. But try and for this weekend. Those who remember last year, I gave you my 4-4-2 tactics, and a lot of you guys ended up hitting elite because of them. I just want to try and break it down a bit. Break down the formation, break down what I do. Sometimes I think when you get custom tactics videos, it's literally like the expectation is that they're talking to Elite 1 players, and not many of us are Elite 1 players, if I'm being honest. So anything you can do to simplify it and just break it down and explain why I do what I do, it's helpful. But that's the end of the video. If you are new around here, as always, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you never miss an upload. Please do share your custom tactics down below. I love to hear about them and try them out. It's always good fun. It's part of the fun of the game. But for now, I am out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.